Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elise. I hope you're all doing so good today. I am here to talk about my October TBR, which I'm very excited about. I've said in a previous video, but October is like my spooky bag. I love reading spooky books in October, books about witches, demons, anything Halloweenish. I love this month for that. And really this is my only month where I like reading those things. So everyone else is like, oh, autumn, we're in autumn, I'm gonna read all those books throughout autumn. For me, October is the one month to read that type of stuff. And after that, I don't feel like reading it anymore. I think it's because I associate it with Halloween. And so once Halloween is passed, I don't kind of want to pick up anything. So this is the month of trying to cram in all of the spooky books that I want to read. So I'm already going to say, like usual with my TBRs, I will talk about the books that I am for sure reading first, and then I'll get into all of the maybes. I have a ton of books on this TBR, so there will be, without a doubt, books that I don't read in this. So know that going in. But hopefully this will give you some options to think about as well if you're not sure what you want to read, or if anything sounds good to you. So let me get into the three that I know I'll be reading for sure first. And the first two, I will be reading them because I have had them since November of last year. And again, I said once November hits, I don't really read these types of books. So I've been saving them for a full year to read them in October. So the first one is a graphic novel, and that is Delicates. And this is the second in a series. So the first one is called Sheets, I believe. And this one is by Brenna Thumler. And this is published by Oni Press. I picked this one up at the Portland Book Festival last year. And I'm looking forward to reading it. The first one I enjoyed. I didn't absolutely love it, but what I do love is the art. This is maybe the art that I love the most in a graphic novel. So I love the color scheme of it. It's like purples and blues and pinks. I just love it so much. So I'm excited for this, and this is about a ghost. So it's the time of the year for me to read about a ghost. So I'm looking forward to this one, and we'll definitely read. The second one that I've had since November of last year is The Sister Who Ate Her Brothers, and this is by Jen Campbell, and it's illustrated by Adam D'Souza. And Jen Campbell has her own booktube channel. I'm sure you know this, but if you don't know, go and check her out. So this didn't come out in the US until November, so it just squeaked by me being able to read it in October. So I'm going to read it now, and this one is kind of dark fairy tale. So it says, and other gruesome tales. So I think this is dark fairy tales. There's beautiful illustrations in it. So let me open up. And yeah, I'm very excited. This will be my first book by Jen Campbell. So I'm excited to get to this one. It even has the beautiful ribbon bookmark. So I will get to this one as well. And this one, I should say, is published by Thames and Hudson in the US. All right, last one that I know I will be reading is In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado, and this is published by Grey Wolf Press. And this is a memoir that needs no introduction. So many people have read this and adored it, part of why I want to read it. So this is one of my 5-star predictions, and it's the only 5-star prediction I have left that really fits the October vibes. So that's why I'm reading it now. And this one has an interesting format. So it basically, each section is told as a type of genre or trope. So if you see this, it says Dream House as deja vu, and then it will talk about her experience with that framing. And this overall is talking about an experience that she has with an abusive ex. And this is sapphic as well. So I'm very interested to get to this and to check off another 5-star prediction. So that is the last one that I know I will be reading. So the rest, we're now in maybe territory. So any of these that you want to push for me to read or that you just love, please let me know to prioritize them. So if you've been on my channel a while, you'll also know that I read at least one translated book a month, if not more. So I have 3 on the TBR for this month that I'm interested in. The first one is a biggie. Actually, 2 of these are biggies. One is Tender as the Flesh, and this is by Agustina Batsterica, and this is translated from the Spanish by whom? By Sarah Moses, and this is an Argentinian novel, and this is a horror novel that is about cannibalism. Lots of people have read this and loved it, and this edition is by Scribner. I've been wanting to read this for a while. It's in a dystopian future in which meat has been contaminated. So in order to eat meat, people start growing other people, humans, and start eating human flesh. So very interested. As you can tell, there's probably going to be a lot of commentary on the meat industry. So I'm excited for that. This one might be the best bet of the maybes because I think I have convinced my partner to start reading this out loud together during the month of October, alternating chapters, which is an idea that I got from Lauren in the Books. So I really want to try that. I have a feeling he's not gonna continue with it. He's not gonna like it, but he at least agreed to try. So this is the one that we are going to be trying out. So that is Tender as the Flesh. The next one is Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, and this is by Olga Tokarczuk. And this is translated from the Polish, they should really put it on the front, by Antonia Lloyd-Jones, and this is published by Riverhead. And this one, I believe, is kind of a murder mystery about an older woman whose neighbor named Bigfoot, I think, dies, and she decides to investigate. So I think it's very dark and creepy and ominous, and I also think it's a slow burn, but that intrigues me and I've heard great things, so interested about this one. And the last translated work on this TBR is At the Edge of the Woods, and this is by Matsatsugo Ono, translated from, let's see, it doesn't say on the front. I think it's Japanese if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, translated from the Japanese by Juliet Winters Carpenter. And this one I hauled pretty recently and it has creepy vibes for sure. So this is about a family who moves to a house at the edge of the woods, and the woods that they're living near have this lore around them that there was a battle there long ago in which many soldiers died, and people say that the woods are haunted. So the mother becomes pregnant again and decides to leave the family in order to kind of go through her pregnancy in peace somewhere else, and leaves the father and son behind. And then strange things start happening. So there's like a tree stump that won't die no matter how much poison they put on it. They have a mailman who comes and delivers like horrific news to them every day. So lots of weird things happening. This one is published by, let's see, Two Lines Press, and sounds very intriguing. It's also very slim, so the spooky vibes in this one might be just what I need. So I'm excited for that. Next one that I'm thinking about reading, and I know that there is a readathon going on. I have no details about it so far, but I will be Googling later about reading like Black authors during sometime in the month of October. So I have a couple options for that. The first one is Lakewood, and this is by Megan Giddings, and this is published by Amistad. And this one is about medical testing. So I believe the protagonist in this is kind of the subject of medical testing, and it's a horror novel, and I think things go very wrong. And of course, it's kind of a commentary on like Henrietta Lacks and the testing that took place without consent on lots of people in Black bodies. So yeah, this one sounds intriguing. I also have the audiobook for this, so I might try and listen to this one on audio. Another one that I'm thinking about for that is Ring Shout. I've had this one for a while and I've wanted to get to it for so long, and I think this is the perfect month for it. It's also very slim. And this is by P. DeJelly Clark, and this is published by Tor.com. And this one follows a group of people, maybe women, can't quite remember, who hunt down Ku Kluxes, and Ku Kluxes are demons that enter into the bodies of KKK members, and they are hunting them down and trying to kill them. So again, lots of great social commentary. So I'm very interested in this one and have also heard amazing things, and I've just been waiting for the right time to read it. So I think this is the right time. So that is Ring Shout. Next we have Nightbitch, and this is by Rachel Yoder, and this is by Doubleday. And this has a stunning cover. I love this cover so much. And this is another one that I bought last year. I really wanted to read it and then didn't get to it. And this one follows a woman who has recently become a mother, I believe, used to be an artist, and has sort of lost herself and her identity in motherhood and is not doing well. And then she starts to believe that she is turning into a dog. So I think this is like kind of a play on a werewolf, and you're not sure if what she thinks is happening is really happening, and she's sort of an unreliable narrator in that sense. This sounds very good. It gives me very much like the Vegetarian vibes by Hong Kong. So I'm really interested in this one and want to get to it. All right, next two are ones that I recently purchased, and one was specifically for this season. So I would say this one also has a very good chance of it getting read, and that is The Haunting Season. And this is Ghostly Tales for Long Winter Nights. And this is supposed to be kind of cozy horror, which is part of why I got it, because I thought it would be good to break up all the other horror that's on this list. This one has 8 stories by 8 different authors, from Kieran Millward Hargrave to Jess Kidd and more. And yeah, just cozy horror ghost stories. So I'm very much intrigued to read this. And this is published by Sphere. The next one I recently bought is the Wyford Code, and this is by Janice Hallett. And this is a murder mystery, and it is mixed media. This one is on here just because it's mixed media, and I'm wondering if I might need a break from some of the other stuff. I really enjoyed the first one, The Appeal. This is published by Viper, so interested about this one. Not sure if I'm going to get to this month, but it's on the list in case I need to change up a form, because it's told in audio files mostly. The next 4 are library books, and then we have made it to the end. So these ones I've picked up. 2 are more likely than the others, so I'll start with those. The first one is Exalted, and I mean, look at that cover. This is by Anna Dorn, and this is giving like all the witchy vibes, so I'm intrigued. So this one is about Emily Forrest, who runs Exalted, which is an astrology account on Instagram. It says that her passion for astrology is waning until she comes across a birth chart that could potentially change her mind. And then there's another perspective of Dawn Webster, who has just been dumped. She's 48, and is forced to return to like her dead-end job waiting tables at the same place when she was 18. So she's feeling very stuck. And then she starts checking the Exalted Instagram and starts to feel seen, and stuff ensues from there. I think eventually their kind of perspectives will meet up in the book, or their POVs will meet up in the book. This is published by the Unnamed Press, and I'm very intrigued for this one. Next library book that has a good possibility is These Fleeting Shadows, and this is by Kate Alice Marshall, and this is published by, because it's the library edition, I always have to open it up. This is published by Viking, and this one is also making the rounds. This is YA, which is very rare for me to read YA, but this has my all-time favorite trope ever in it that I am just trash for, and that is an inheritance trope. I just fucking love an inheritance trope. I don't know why, but I love it. And the back of this says, the bid for her family's inheritance will leave Helen Vaughn either rich or dead. So I'm going to read it based off that alone. I know nothing else about it other than the spooky house on the cover. So like, is it a spooky house and inheritance trope? I love that. So good. Can't wait. I'm very excited about this one. So another good chance that I will pick this one up. All right, the next two. One of them I've had on my TBR like 2 other times, I think, at this point. So I need to just read it, and that is Ghostwall by Sarah Moss. Nobody else has wanted to check this out, so I've just been renewing it over and over. It's so short, and I've heard such good things about Sarah Moss and such good things about this book. So, like it says on the cover, it is about a ghost wall. I want to read it. I'm finally going to get to it this month, so we're doing it. The last one I picked up just on a whim because I saw it while I was there, and I remember hearing about this book a couple years ago when it first came out, but it got really mixed reviews, which is why I didn't originally pick it up. So the library book might be a good way to start it, just to see if I might enjoy it. But that is The Regrets. Look at that cover, stunning. And this is by Amy Bonifants. And this, I believe, is about a relationship that, a living woman has with a ghost. So the premise sounds intriguing to me, but again, it got very mixed reviews, so we'll see what ends up happening, but I at least want to try this one out. So yeah, that is all of the books I'm interested in reading for October. Like always, if you know any books that you want to read in October, please let me know down below. I'm curious what you'll be reading. And if you have read any of these books or are interested in any of these books, chat with me down below about them. I want to hear what you thought. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye!